Hey everyone, welcome back to FSElite's coverage of FlightSimExpo 2026. I'm here with Tim from Thrustmaster.
How's it going, guys?
Tim, you've got some really cool stuff here today.
Yeah.
I know you just introduced something here.
Yeah,
so
just
you
up
wanna
on stage.
Yeah.
It's a really exciting FlightSimExpo for us. There are some FlightSimExpos where we have stuff that's a little bit less relevant to the market, where we focus on space, we focus on combat, but this is a civilian flight sim year for us. And the most exciting thing that we're launching, not necessarily for the community that's here, but for the community at large, flight simmers, is the TCA Sky Yoke. So the TCA Sky Yoke, let's start with the price, because it's kind of the sexiest thing about it, the most interesting thing about it that people are going to be talking about the most. Under $200, so $199.99. We have a PlayStation model and an Xbox model. Both of them work on PC, and it's our very first push-pull yoke. So it's perfect for general aviation, like you'll find in a Cessna or like you'll find in a small aircraft. And it's got everything built in. So trim wheel, trim wheel and throttle control. It's got a whole bunch of buttons, axes, dials and knobs and switches. So basically an all-in-one control unit. It's something that's perfect for beginners. It's something that's perfect for beginners and people who want sort of a lower price, better value yoke. Somebody who maybe plays for a month at a time, then puts it in the closet for 8 months and then brings it back out. This is the perfect controller for them.
Sure, yeah, and you've got 180 degrees rotation.
180 degrees in both directions, and 3.5 inches of pull and push.
And Hall sensors.
Hall sensors, so no contact on the shaft. So it's perfectly precise and very, very durable. No contact means no scraping or anything like that over time.
Okay. I mean, fantastic for the general aviation market. You have a lot of other stuff here. Do you want to walk us around real quick? And
we could do that for sure.
Okay.
We've got a couple of announcements. I can sort of walk you through everything. Kind of proud of these stands, by the way.
Those are very robust stands.
Yeah, very organic, very raw stands. We've made, of course, with the Boeing yoke over here, which we've had for a few years now, part of the TCA line. So it's the TCA line now has Boeing, and it has Airbus, and it has the Sky Yoke in it.
Awesome.
Showing off where the Sky Yoke works. So we have one Xbox console working. We have one Android tablet not working, but working, as in like nobody's playing on it right now. And then on this side, we have one running on PlayStation and one running on PC. So really just showing everything that the Sky Yoke does. You guys are getting kind of a sneak peek as we're still setting up the booth and getting people going.
Very cool.
And then some of the more interesting stuff that we're talking about, that we're announcing, and that we're putting a lot of focus on in the booth is the pilot, co-pilot, or flight instructor, student pilot dynamic.
Yeah, I noticed you have two yokes over here.
Exactly.
Can you talk about kind of the setup here?
Two stations with two yokes. So this is actually Nick. Nick's a real-life flight instructor, and he has basically created a bunch of scenarios for us where either a flight instructor like him can teach a newer pilot how to fly or how to handle a sort of a dynamic scenario in the air. Or we have them set up as well where two people can come in and do a pilot, co-pilot situation. So it's really just showing kind of a new use case for flight sim gear.
Yeah, at the price point that you have here too. I mean, it's
very possible.
Yeah, this is completely
$199, $199. You can either have a friend who owns their own, or it's very easy to own two yourself.
Yeah.
And like I said, everything's built in with the throttle, with the yaw control built in. You don't need any extra parts, basically. It runs off of one Xbox. The other one over there is running off of one PC, and then one screen.
Very cool.
So it's kind of fun and cool for a couple of buddies or a father and son, so not to gender it, but parent and a child, to be able to play in their home. Or what we think is going to be a really cool use case is an actual flight instructor teaching in a flight school, basically on whether it's a rainy or windy day, or whether it's early in the process, being able to hand off the controls, show how things work before they get up in the air.
Just like in the real airplane.
Exactly right, yeah. So we've actually already talked to a few different flight schools that have come through. They're already expressing a lot of interest, which is cool. It's not something that we necessarily decided to market it as, but it's a really cool use case for people who are out
Very,
there.
very cool.
Yeah.
So we've seen some of the general aviation stuff, maybe some of the combat
Sure, let's
flight
go
sticks
over
that
and
you
check
have over
everything
there.
out,
Yeah.
for sure. We can go through the middle of the booth. No, let's go around so we can see the screen. It's probably better.
And we will cut appropriately. So
Yeah.
so give me. All right, we're cutting here, and then we'll just resume it.
So we've been working with the AeroVector team, which are a team of 7 formation flyers. We've been sponsoring them for 3 years now, and they're basically owning and operating our little combat section over here. Okay. So we're doing a couple of things. We're doing combat scenarios on the Warthog Mark II. So the Warthog has been upgraded from its original 12-year-old, 13-year-old model, and it has new parts inside, sort of a new look a little bit on the stick itself, and it's basically just a refreshed version of the existing Warthog. So it's same thing, we get an upgraded base along with the new Warthog, which will work with a couple of the other products that we'll look at in a second. But yeah, that's basically what they're running off of here. So the AeroVector team is running a couple of combat scenarios on this computer here, and then on this computer over here, it's pretty cool. Basically, they've filmed themselves in VR doing one of their formation shows, and you can sit inside the number 4 jet and be able to look around in VR and see how close wingtips are to wingtips, and just how precise you need to be a formation pilot.
Very cool,
It's a really cool experience just to sit in the jet and experience that firsthand, because these guys are super skilled and know way more about piloting than most of us in terms of precision.
Yeah. Cool. We can
so
keep
that's our
moving
combat
here.
section.
Very cool.
I mean, it's plug and play. The Warthog 2 is compatible with everything that the Warthog 1 was. We also have some add-on sticks. We'll talk about those in a second here. One of the most exciting add-on sticks to sort of pivot back towards civilian flight sim is the Airbus add-on grip. So we've had the Airbus license since this is our 4th year now, I think 4th FlightSimExpo that we've had the Airbus stick. We now have the Airbus stick available as an add-on. So it's still a one-to-one replica of what you'll find inside a jet itself. With these 2 screws here and this removable part, you can switch between an A300 model or A300 series model and an A400M, which has the guard and the extra button over here.
Is that all included in the base package, or is that like an add-on?
So that's an add-on. So it's an actual add-on. It's part of our ecosystem, essentially, of if somebody owns either the Ava or either the old Warthog or the new Warthog, the Warthog Mark II, or the Solar, which is just over here. Sorry to sneak around. But Solar, which we launched as our space sim line of products, the base for the Solar is the same sticks are compatible with all of them.
So you purchase the base, and then you get the ability
you purchase the base or already had the base, for example, and now you're able to use this as well on those, let's call them more professional or higher end bases that are more precise, that have more sort of customizability within them, especially the Ava. A lot more buttons built into the actual bases, like the Solar over here. Or if you came from combat, which a lot of flight simmers did, they can now also fly on an Airbus.
That's very
One of the cool things is it's built just for left-handed, just like in a real cockpit, an Airbus cockpit. So unlike the Captain Pack X, which is the TCA line, the blue controllers, which are ambidextrous, this one here, just so you know, is only left-handed, which makes it more authentic. in our opinion.
Cool. Okay, Tim, here in our last few minutes, you brought us over to this table where we have all sorts of add-ons, combat sticks. Can you walk us through kind of what you have lined up?
Basically everything else we have in our catalog, more or less. We talked a little bit about the combat stuff. It's down the end over here. The Airbus add-on stick, which is here. It's basically, this is just where people can look at everything in one place. This is the solar system that we talked about. So that's our space sim. It also works with everything else, but it's a little bit more focused on space sim. And one of the cool things that we're launching at this show here is the Omni Grip add-on. So like I said, this is a 3D printed thing, so it doesn't unscrew very easily, but the Omni Grip is essentially a grip that allows you to use one of your sticks as a throttle, which is very sort of immersive in a space sim. So it's a cool new angle to be able to play with a joystick. Works with, honestly, with all of our add-on sticks. Basically the Ava ecosystem initially, and now the Solar system now has a bunch of the extensions and sort of stick reconfigurators, and everything within our Ava and Solar system is sort of intercompatible and customizable to some degree for length. If you have it mounted on the floor between your legs like a combat jet or a helicopter or something like that, you have extenders, you have curved extenders that can kind of position the stick a little bit more authentically to what you fly as a pilot.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you so much. There's so much here.
Everything we got.
It's an amazing array of products that you have here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're excited about FlightSimExpo 2026.
It's going to be, it's busy over here right now. I'm sure the rest of the weekend's going to be super busy.
This is sneak peek night, so hopefully Saturday will be even busier.
For sure.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it, Tim. Thanks very
Trevor.
much.